Hello, today we're going to be doing an analog stick replacement for the Nintendo 64 by Handheld Legend. We got a GameCube style control stick. We're initializing our PS4 today because we're selling that off because we are focusing on Nintendo 64. Here's the tools we're going to need. Something sharp and a screwdriver. That's pretty much it. So we'll take our something sharp, our little knife here, and open our box very carefully. Again, Handheld Legends is where I got the joystick replacements from. They're not sponsoring this video. That is just where I located these replacement joysticks for the N64. They are packaged in this very nice little cardboard box with the housing and ribbon cable all ready to go. So it's a real plug and play option. Very nice. Looks high quality. Feels good. Stick response seems great. Feels like a new controller, like a new GameCube control stick. So I'm very excited to go ahead and see if this helps our N64 breathe some new life. All right, so here's just a comparison. Old stick that's on there, it really needs some help. Definitely has a dead spot on the right hand side of the stick, so we're gonna go ahead and replace this old one. This is an exclusive extreme green Toys R Us controller. That's a screwdriver I'm going to use, just a Phillips head here, just a smaller and a bigger size bit, and I'll show you at the end. There's two different size screws. The two smaller ones are located here in the control pack area. The two that I have in this controller are currently out of the controller. I took them out already, but I wanted to show you that's where those are located. Kind of hard to get in there with most screwdrivers, but the body of the controller is real easy. Both are Phillips head. Very helpful to have a magnetic screwdriver to hold on to your screws and maybe a little dish or container to go ahead and keep those screws in as you are disassembling and reassembling the N64 controller. So no hurry here, just take all of your screws out of the back of the housing and the control pack area. All right, once that's done, we can go ahead and separate the two halves of our N64 controller here. And if they've never come apart before, they might take a little bit of coaxing. There they come. All right, so on one side we have the main unit here is what we're looking at. And that's our assembly that we're going to be replacing here. The 3 screws is pretty much what we're going to be taking off. And that Z pad here, that's the Z button pad. We'll just slide that up and out of the way to get access to our controller stick housing here. So again, it's just 3 screws. And here's a comparison to the drop-in unit that we're going to be replacing it with. So it looks pretty like for like, which is really comforting. So let's see if this installs as easy as I think it's going to be. So let's just take these 3 screws out here. So these 3 silver screws that are holding in the analog stick of the stock N64 controller. In all honesty, I did do this before to try to repair this controller. I took apart this whole assembly, the internals of this, but it was no good. So we're going to go for a full replacement this time. So we'll take the whole unit out. And make sure to detach your ribbon cable. So carefully detach this ribbon cable by pulling upward on it from its housing little connector there. It's like a little car going in a little garage there. So just pull straight up from that while I was kind of holding the base of the connector, and it popped right out there. So just make sure you pay attention to the orientation of the plug as you reinstall the new one. But here's a comparison again of the 2 units side by side here, the replacement and the old one. Really the stick is the main difference here. That's going to be our main quality of life difference that we're hoping that we're going to get out of this new install here. So again, let's just go ahead and do a reverse of what we just did. So let's go ahead and plug back in that ribbon cable to our new controller. Easy enough. I'm sorry, our new control stick, rather, analog stick. There it is. We got it, no problem. We'll flip it around and orient it with those screw holes facing the same way there. Just like that. Easy enough. And yeah, make sure that you get that ribbon cable connected in there. Make sure you get your Z button slotted back in under those little plastic tabs. And then it's just a matter of reinstalling those 3 small silver screws back into the analog stick housing and securing it down on there. Just make sure you get your Z button trigger assembly in the right location. Mine's a little high actually in this picture as I'm reassembling. I had to move it down just ever so slightly to make the controller fit back together. So just make sure you're noting the positions of things. It's always helpful to take pictures possibly when you're taking apart any sort of electronics. So we got everything together. I do recommend putting the bottom on the desk because those L and R shoulder buttons are loose in that controller. So just go ahead and be aware of that. Placing the top half of the controller on the bottom. Again, making sure we're clearing the membranes of those L and R shoulder buttons there. And the cable for the controller goes out the front of the port, no problem there. And there's little guide rods inside of the controller out of the plastic to make sure you're seated and the male and female parts in there. So everything's together there. We'll just kind of press fit, making sure everything's seated nicely. The buttons are all cleared, no stickiness, no weirdness. Everything looks good. So usually what I do is kind of pinch the controller together and flip it back around and really just start to reassemble, putting our screws back inside the same way that they went out. So easy enough. So again, don't over tighten at this point, just enough just to get them snug on there. And again, here's the two sizes. That smaller one is the one located inside your control pack, and that larger one is the main body screw of the controller. All right, here we go. Everything's all set to go. You can see the new control stick is installed, looking and feeling amazing. Guys, this is an amazing upgrade to the N64 controller. Highly, highly recommend that you do this mod if you have a busted up control stick on your N64 like I did. This feels incredible. I'm going to play test it here shortly, but here's the old stick on an older controller. Ugh, this one is really bad. We'll be replacing that one tonight to get it to this one. I will be doing some play testing here shortly to see the performance of the stick. Here we go. Some Super Mario 64 real quick. Man, it feels like day one, 1996. It's bringing a smile to my face to feel this good connected to the controller again. This is an amazing mod, guys. Handheld Legends, thank you so much for supplying these great control sticks to the gaming community. Thank you so much, guys.